Democrats taking their impeachment probe public. Shifty Schiff announcing Congress will hold open hearings next week, finally. It comes after he dumped a new transcript from the testimony of top diplomat in Ukraine, Bill Taylor. Schiff claiming this new phase of the investigation will damage the president.
Those open hearings will be an opportunity for the American people to evaluate the witnesses for themselves, to make their own determinations about the credibility of the witnesses, but also to learn firsthand about the facts of the president's misconduct.
Okay. Juan, I know you love polls, so I brought a poll for you.
Thank you.
This is Morning Consult, very accurate. Yeah. And it says support for impeachment falls as inquiry moves to a new phase. And people don't approve of the Democrats' handling of impeachment. Sure. Your thoughts?
Well, I haven't seen that one, but I heard about it. And, of course, you got to put it in the context, which is that there's been, in the last 2 months, continual rise in supports, largely plateaued at this juncture as we go towards the public phase of this hearing. Okay. I think that the question about Bill Taylor is interesting because Taylor is a West Point grad, a veteran, someone who was selected, almost handpicked by Secretary of State Pompeo to serve in the Trump administration. So efforts to undermine him, to say, oh, you know what, he's a never-Trumper, he's a bad guy, I think it's very difficult. And so, therefore, his testimony is going to have impact. And then I think the secondary argument on this one, Jesse, is, but he wasn't on the call. But then you hear from others who were on the call, and you have others saying pretty much the same thing. Okay. So it's just like the attack on the whistleblower, which has been going on. And, of course, all of the whistleblowers has been corroborated. But Trump and his guys are saying, hey, what about the whistleblower? Like, it's distraction,
Anna Kennedy,
personal
I
attacks.
feel like the Democrats had the American people's attention for a second, and then they totally lost it. And now no one cares about this Taylor, Volker, Sondland. That's not breaking through.
It's not, because you don't have the big thing yet. And if you have a bunch of little things, people lose track of names, they lose track of conversations, they lose track of timelines. And that is the fault of the Democrats who stretched this out in the wrong way. And they really should have waited until there was this formal impeachment inquiry resolution so we could have all of this in the open. But the problem is a lot of these people have already testified, and so their statements are a known quantity. So now all you're going to have are Republicans and Democrats acting like show ponies, just trying to out-jazz hands each other to play gotcha with the various witnesses. And I don't think we've gotten there yet. And you know what it reminds me of in terms of polls? Medicare for all. Because if you ask people, should we insure everybody? They go, absolutely, we should. We should insure everybody. And it's the same thing. If the president did something bad, should he be impeached? Absolutely, he should be impeached, and he should be removed. If he did something bad, the if he did something bad is the part where you have to pay for it. No one wants to pay for Medicare for all, and no one has been shown that what he's done so far is absolutely 100% impeachable, and it has to reach a greater...
Bribery, not a problem?
I'm not saying that...
I don't think we're talking about that one.
I think the Rudy Giuliani has gone rogue.
Okay, I'm just saying, there's a lot here.
Let's get Greg in. Greg, if you're doing all this stuff in Shifty Schiff's creepy little dark basement under the Capitol, I think Americans were focused for a second, then they started thinking about football and what's going on this weekend. I think it's over now.
I love these open hearings because it's an opportunity, as Schiff has said, to see how petty the Democrats are and what thin gruel they're playing with. The media has replaced replaced Russia with the Ukraine, yet the public isn't keen on it anymore. If you look at the left-wing media, they aren't getting that same bump that they got from the Russia stuff, and it's because it's like they're getting back together with someone who cheated on them. That's the Ukraine feel, because they got burned on Russia. They put all their hearts into Russia, and it fell apart. They can't do it again with Ukraine, because they're now beginning to see that this is a fable based on opinions, based on other opinions. It's all about if, right? The concern angle in which you're concerned about something that might happen, but doesn't or hasn't. It's like if Donald Trump, it all goes back to one sentence. If Donald Trump shot somebody on Fifth Avenue, would he get away with it? That has never happened. But that question informs the strategy, what I would call the concern strategy, where they try to avoid the concrete achievements of Trump and replace with hypothetical hysterics. Like, what if he does this? What if he lied? What if this was this? And also the media wants the public to think that quid pro quo is like the plague. Actually, it's the engine of life and commerce. Whether it's sales, whether it's a politician, whether you're got a hot dog vendor, you give me X, I'll give you Y. Put some mustard on the X, please. It's part of part of Trump's job to shape foreign policy based on what he feels, the deals that he makes.
You know, I just want to quickly
no crime
say,
there.
Greg, hey, Greg.
Yes.
This is like Senator Graham yesterday saying it doesn't matter. It doesn't. I'm not reading the transcript.
Oh, I thought that was Hillary Clinton in the Benghazi.
No, but I'm talking about. Oh, there you go.
I think he speaks for a lot of Americans when he says that. Dana, Greg mentioned the strategy of the Democrats. The strategy of Republicans, I think the president could use some warriors in the morning to wake up, put the war paint on, and then fight this impeachment. The messaging, the tactics, the strategy.
Well, one of the things...
Because right now it's just leak.
Well, one of the ways that they could do that, though, is to have effective cross-examination during the public hearings, okay? Because if you read the transcripts, it's not that great from that perspective. So they have to be super prepared. I was reminded by Karl Rove about Adam Schiff back in 2008. He was the new chairman. He was going to be investigating Karl Rove, and they were going to get a political scalp. And Conyers was quoted saying they were going to get his ASS.
What?
No.
We got to go to break.
Shannon Bream didn't spell it out.
And they kept saying they wanted a political scalp.
Yeah.
So they go to the hearing, and then Adam Schiff is actually unprepared and reading from the staff notes, and he just is not able to actually bring a sale. So now, and actually then that goes to the DOJ. The DOJ declines to prosecute. It's this is the whole U.S. attorney thing. Now in 2019. In 10 years, when you didn't even have social media back then, really, you have them. The Democrats are planning to put on a show next Wednesday with Adam Schiff.
We've been promised a show for a long
time. And the bar is really, really high.
Yep.
I don't know if they can meet the bar.
Why is he the guy,
Dana?
though? Why is Schiff the guy? Why is he the one who's now in charge of this whole thing? Why is Adam Schiff the face?
Well, they had to do it in the dark, and the Intelligence Committee was the only place they could pull that off. And to the people at home, we just want to apologize. You know, this is a family show, and Dana apologizes.
Dana, that really
earlier.
SUCKS.